Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this brief webinar on the exciting opportunities that you can pursue in Te Painga Faculty of Law. My name is Dr. Anna Marie Brennan, and I'm a senior lecturer in the faculty. And the aim of the presentation today is to introduce you to the type of degree programs and study options you can pursue in the law faculty, and what's so unique about the offerings we provide. Te Painga Faculty of Law is one of the top 250 law schools in the world, and with us you will have the opportunity to look deeper to find out why laws are made, who makes them, and how they work, and how we can go about reforming them if they're not working all that well. At Waikato, you will be taught and assessed by both lawyers and judges. So during your degree here, or even if you pursue a diploma with us, you have that opportunity to gain core practical skills on what it takes to be a lawyer. During your time here, you will be have a lot of contact with lawyers and judges from our local profession here in the Waikato, and you will have the opportunity to practice those skills, whether it be interviewing a client, drafting a motion for court, negotiating a settlement for a client, or even just drafting a contract for a merger. During the course of your studies here, you'll get to see how the law operates in a local, national, and global context. The core themes of our faculty, of course, are professionalism, biculturalism, and law and context. And of course, building on those core themes, our faculty offers a number of internship opportunities so that you are work ready after your degree program. And through those internship opportunities, you will be able to apply the knowledge you've gained in the lecture theatre to real life problems. And we offer a wide range of work opportunities for you during your time here at the University of Waikato, from internships and opportunities at the Hamilton District Community Law Centre, the Police Prosecution Office, the Defence Office, and of course several key city and regional councils, law firms, and other organisations as well. What's quite unique about our programmes at the University of Waikato is that you do not need to have a special invitation in order to progress into the second year of your law degree. Our faculty is inclusive of people and students from all walks of life. And of course, our selection process takes place at the very, very beginning of your application stage before you set foot on campus. And moving on from that, of course, our facilities here so that you can excel in your studies here are superb. We have a new multi-million-dollar building which was constructed in 2016, which is dedicated facilities for our students. In addition to that, we have a state-of-the-art moot court, which enables you to record your practicing, mooting, or negotiation for self-review and assessment as well. And every now and again, one of the local courts in Hamilton does sit in that moot court because it's such a fantastic installation that we have. Of course, during your time here, you will be taught by some of New Zealand's and the world's leading legal advisors. We have a faculty that is made up of colleagues from across the world, as well as homegrown New Zealand academics as well. Our scholars in the faculty regularly advise governments, businesses, and non-governmental organizations from the United Nations to the Waitangi Tribunal. So again, at the University of Waikato, you will be taught by the leading experts in their field. Classes, of course, are small and typically offered in seminar style discussions. And we have an open door policy. We have a very, very strong student focus. And of course, we provide opportunities whereby students can consult and meet with staff one-on-one to obtain critical feedback on their assessment and coursework, and also just general feedback on how they are progressing through their degree program. Of course, moving on to the types of degree options that we have here. First of all, we have the diploma in law, but we also have a number of other popular conjoint programs as well. From the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Laws to the conjoint of Social Sciences and Law. And of course, you can also pursue your degree jointly with Science and Technology or even Management Studies. So we have a whole wide range of options to suit you. Moving on to the type of individualized ongoing support that we can offer students in our faculty. We have 3 very dynamic law student associations. We have the Pacific Law Student Association, we have the Maori Students Association, and of course the Waikato Law Student Association. And they, of course, those 3 law student associations are really, really important. In that they foster great collegial relations between students and of course offer plenty of social and learning opportunities, because of course during your time at university you will meet people that will become your lifelong friends, and of course being a member of one of those law student associations, or indeed all of them, provides you with that enriching social and learning experience. We have a mentorship program as well in our faculty, which makes us quite unique amongst New Zealand law schools. And our mentorship program is designed to offer you extra support. Our mentors are law students in their senior years of study, and they will provide guidance to you in your studies, how to help you navigate through your transitional period as you settle into law school, and also can help provide you with guidance on applying for internship and work experience opportunities as well. And of course, we have a wonderful administrative team here that are on hand to advise you on any aspect of your study options and can assist you as well in providing advice on degree planning. Another unique point about Tuckering Faculty of Law is that we are the only law school in New Zealand that is accredited by the Arbitrators and Mediators Institute of New Zealand. So if you're thinking about pursuing a career as an arbitrator or mediator, well, Waikato stands out from that point of view. Our degree is accredited by this very important institution. So essentially, if you pursue your degree here, once you graduate, it means that you are automatically a member of this professional organisation, and you can specialise in arbitration and mediation. And in particular, this is quite a growth area in law. Of course, many of you will be interested in pursuing a career as a solicitor or barrister, and of course, our Bachelor of Laws degree program here is approved by the New Zealand Council of Legal Education. And of course, after graduation here, you will be eligible to complete the professional legal studies course at either the College of Law of New Zealand or the professional legal studies course at the Institute of Legal Studies. So during your degree here, you can pursue a number of different papers. You can pursue courses on advocacy, mediation, public international law, corporate securities and finance, employment law, environmental law, the law of the sea, Maori land law, natural resources law, family law, of course. But over the course of the next few minutes, and I've only about 10 minutes or so left in my presentation, I'm going to introduce you to one of the papers that's offered by Tuckering Faculty of Law, and it is outer space law. So at at Te Paringa Faculty of Law, we offer a paper called Critical Issues in Space Law. And the aim of this paper is to introduce students to how law applies in the outer space realm. Now, of course, during the course of the paper, you would have the opportunity to engage with external guest speakers. So for example, in 2021, we have a number of speakers lined up from NASA and from the US military to discuss issues concerning military operations in outer space. But the aim of this paper as well is introduce you to the commercial law aspects of outer space. If a private corporation wants to launch a satellite into outer space, what are the laws regulating that launch? And of course, up until now, outer space law was very much viewed as the prerogative of states. But of course, as we've seen recently in the media, it is private corporations like Rocket Lab, SpaceX, etc., that are at the very, very forefront of the space race. So a paper looks at the environmental aspects concerning the regulation of outer space. It looks at whether military activity is permitted in outer space. It looks at the laws regulating satellite remote sensing. It examines how disputes concerning outer space are resolved. What's quite unique about outer space law is that there is no international court that can resolve disputes that may occur between corporations and states. So for example, if a corporation designs a satellite, launches into space, but has an agreement with the state that the state will pay for that satellite over time and actually fails to keep up with their payments, well, what right of recourse does that private corporation have? Moving on from there, as you see in the little diagram before you, I just included some quite useful stats. And in that particular photo of planet Earth, you will see all those satellites. That's typical of the number of satellites that are circling around our planet at any one time. And of course, our paper at the University of Waikato aims to respond to a key gap in the industry. Increasingly, there is a need for lawyers that specialize in outer space law because, as you can see from that diagram, because the sheer level of activity in outer space, that's going to lead to legal disputes. And of course, during the course of the paper, you will discover some really, really interesting facts. So for example, an astronaut has, for example, lost a glove, and that is whizzing around in the ether, running at 28,000 kilometers an hour. And of course, the glove was lost by an astronaut named Edward White. If that glove caused damage to a Russian satellite, well, what right has Russia, for example, to sue the United States for the damage caused by it? And of course, there have been instances over time where the states, when one of their satellites becomes obsolete, it may be decommissioned, and some states have decided that they will just blow up that satellite with a missile. And of course, that has led to major concerns amongst the international community about the environmental impact that has, because of course, if we destroy satellites in this way, it leads to a lot of debris in outer space that could cause damage to current functioning satellites. And of course, the law is very, very ambiguous and vague about all this. We have no clear rules about how we should protect the environment in outer space. For example, with the moon missions in the 1960s, 1970s, over 190 tons of human waste was left by those missions on the moon. And of course, only a handful of individuals actually went to the moon. So us as lawyers, we have to very, very carefully consider how we protect outer space, not only for the present generation, but for future generations to come as well. So that is to briefly introduce you to the types of degrees that we offer here and the type of papers that we offer here. And indeed, I would highly, highly recommend that you come and study here. Here at the University of Waikato, we offer really, really inclusive student experience. Pastoral care is at the very, very top of the agenda to ensure that you are supported during your studies here from day one until the day you graduate. And even after that, our scholars here keep in contact with our students to ensure that they are making that transition from their degree program onto into their professional career. So again, studying at the University of Waikato gives you that opportunity to study at one of the top law schools in the world. We again provide a number of work and employment opportunities for our students, and you can pursue your study here in a fantastic modern multi-million-dollar building where we have a dedicated moot court room where you can practice your arbitration and mediation skills and your advocacy skills in court. And again, you will be taught by some of New Zealand's leading legal experts as well. For example, Professor Al Gillespie, who's widely sought after by the media, to colleagues such as Associate Professor Valmain Toki, who has provided strategic support to the United Nations on Indigenous Studies, to other colleagues that have advised in the defense of war criminals at the UN's International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, and have advised judges on war crimes cases and crimes against humanity cases at the International Criminal Court. So what I'm going to do very quickly is just have a look at the chat function here to see if there are any questions at all. I see there are not, but if there's anybody that would like to ask a question, please just use the chat function. Okay, so thank you. The first question is whether Waikato offers commercial law. So we offer a whole range of different papers. If you just give me a few moments, I'll dig out the information for you. We offer contract law, we offer corporate securities and finance law. So essentially that is corporate law and commercial law there in a nutshell. We also, depending on, of course, students' request, we offer papers like revenue law as well. I hope that answered your question okay, but please, if anything needs further clarification, please do use the chat function and I will do my best to answer your question, and if not, I will try and direct you to the necessary resources online. And of course, I suppose I should add as well that even in the outer space law paper that I offer here, that I teach at the University of Waikato, we look specifically at the commercial law aspects of outer space activity as well. And another question has popped up in the chat function. Is there a certain amount of spaces for the second year? No, there's not. Essentially, if you pass all your papers in your first year, you automatically go into your second year here. That is what's quite unique about tempering a faculty of law. Other law schools, of course, do require that you have to have achieved a specific grade in order to enter into your second year. That is not the case here at the University of Waikato. I hope that clarifies your question. But again, if you need any further information, please let me know and I'll do my best to answer it for you. I think that's probably it. Of course, if there's any aspect of our degree options here that you would like further information on, please do let me know, whether it be the type of pastoral care that we offer to support students, to the types of types of activities that are run by our student association, to even what type of career options you will have after you pursue your degree. Okay, so we have a really interesting question here from Raj. Thank you, Raj. And you mentioned that you're planning to pursue a Master's of Law at Waikato University, and you've done your LLB overseas. That's absolutely fantastic. Your question is whether it's possible for you to gain practical job knowledge in New Zealand after doing your LLM from Waikato University. Well, if you have, it will ultimately depend on the type of visa that you obtain from New Zealand Immigration. Again, our student advisors at our Central University team will be able to advise you further on the type of student visas that are available and whether you can convert that visa into a work visa after your degree here. Okay. I hope that helps to clarify your question. But again, what I would recommend is if you consult with the resources prepared by our admission office on immigration and visas and work requirements, etc. I would really highly recommend that you get in touch with them. Okay. I think we have another question from, I think it's Flynn. How is the environment for PhD studies? Excellent question, absolutely superb. Thank you very much. Well, if you want to do a PhD here at the law school, we have a whole variety of supports for you. And of course, all our academic staff are trained PhD supervisors. And of course, during your PhD studies here, of course, you prepare your doctoral thesis, but there may also be opportunities for you if you are seeking a career in academia, perhaps to build teaching experience during your time here. Of course, as I mentioned at the very start of the webinar, in our dedicated law faculty building, we have a whole floor dedicated to our students, and our PhD students have dedicated offices with dedicated computers as well to facilitate you. And of course, our PhD students come along to all our research events. So it is a very, very inclusive environment. We have students from all across the world that join us to pursue their PhD studies here. And many of them go on to pursue careers in academia or with international organizations or non-governmental organizations as well. I hope that answers your question. We have a very, very enriching environment here for PhD students. So if we have any other questions, okay, no. Well, we've run over time. If any of you have any questions about our law degree program, please do let me know. You can get directly in touch with me by email. My email address is just up there on the first slide. It is abrennan@waikato.ac.nz. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and if you have any questions, I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.